We all know of a certain dinosaur which can camouflage in Jurassic World, and that was the Indominus Rex. But what if I told you there was another dinosaur which could actually camouflage and was meant to be seen in the Lost World Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park 3, and how this could be the case in the future? The dinosaur I'm talking about is actually the CARNOTAURUS. Now, I know we've seen the CARNOTAURUS in Fallen Kingdom and in Dominion, but it isn't the same CARNOTAURUS, the one that InGen made. This dinosaur featured camouflaging abilities which were even more advanced than the Indominus Rex, which we'll talk about in depth more in the video. Now, the InGen CARNOTAURUS was smaller than their real-life counterpart, measuring at 7 feet tall, and were described to have resembled small Tyrannosaurus, but with more bulldog-like snouts and more shorter, stubbier forelimbs. Now, we'll talk about the scenes it was meant to feature in the Lost World and potentially Jurassic Park 3, but first the camouflaging ability. The InGen CARNOTAURUS had a highly developed form of camouflage, well beyond any other animal. It was based on the changing of the colour of the scales, but was so advanced that it was capable of replicating complex patterns in the environment to such a degree that it made them almost indistinguishable from their environment, even while on the move. Think of the Indominus Rex, but even more hidden. They were mostly nocturnal though, because their camouflage was most effective at night, because being exposed to light would force them to momentarily change their pattern, which would briefly make them visible to the eye. Even the Tyrannosaurus Rex wouldn't even venture into their territory during the night because of this ability and for fear of being attacked by the CARNOTAURUS. Much like you see that Indominus Rex scene where it takes on the ACU unit and absolutely decimates them. Imagine 2 packs of CARNOTAURUS doing this to people or even other animals. Now, his appearance in the Lost World was eventually cut because of the adaptation of the novel, but this is the scene we were meant to have. Near the beginning, when Dr. Levine first embarked into Isla Sorna, he and his guide Diego were ambushed by a pair of camouflaging CARNOTAURUS. Diego was dragged into a nearby fern and promptly killed, while a second individual attacks Levine, succeeding in tearing off his backpack. Much later on, a pair of CARNOTAURUS come near the shed in the worker village, where Levine, Arby, Kelly, Thorne, Sarah Harding and Ian Malcolm are all hiding. Thorne was the first to be aware of their presence, as he was able to hear them breathe as he was about to leave the shed, and noticed them while they quickly changed their pattern. When Levine turned on the lights to the shed, the CARNOTAURUS were again briefly revealed because of that light reflecting off their bodies. They approached Thorne at the shed but couldn't enter due to their large size. Sarah and Levine then exploit the weakness by shining headlights at the CARNOTAURUS, which are then forced to change their pattern, which exposed them. With the cover blown, the CARNOTAURUS abandon the attack and are not seen again. Once day breaks, other animals return to the CARNOTAURUS territory, knowing the CARNOTAURUS cannot hide in daylight. Now, this was a scene in the Lost World Jurassic Park, which would have featured in the movie adaptation, if not were they to change everything, which I'm a little bit disappointed with. But that isn't the end of the CARNOTAURUS story. Oh no, there's plenty more to be had. And how did they even gain the ability to camouflage even better than the Indominus Rex? Now, they were meant to feature in Jurassic Park 3 as well, which we'll talk about later, but first, how did they gain that ability then? Well, much like the Indominus Rex, we know that Masrani Global and Dr. Wu bred the Indominus with all these genetic mutations, and one of them was the cuttlefish, which was able to actually camouflage much like it is in real life, and that side effect passed on to the Indominus Rex. But the CARNOTAURUS's camouflaging ability seems way more advanced, even that on level of the Predator. So how is that? We do know that chameleon DNA was used in the creation of the InGen CARNOTAURUS, which could potentially give it untapped camouflaging abilities mixed with what other genomes they used in this CARNOTAURUS could have created this genetic monster camouflaging hybrid, much like the Indominus Rex. A lot of other Jurassic Park games actually featured the CARNOTAURUS with its camouflage ability. Just take the Jurassic Park arcade adventure. This fully shows the CARNOTAURUS camouflaging and having that chameleon look. So why then was this never used in Jurassic World? Was it never used in Fallen Kingdom or in Dominion? Well, my guess is the fact that they didn't want to deduct from the ability of the Indominus Rex being that able to camouflage as well. They probably just wanted one super dinosaur to be able to have that ability, the Indominus Rex, because having numerous dinosaurs having this ability would kind of render that ability less special. So they decided to get rid of this camouflaging gene, or this chameleon gene, to keep it in line with everything else, which is a missed opportunity in my eyes. Now, this is a very unknown piece here where Jurassic Park 3, the Carnotaurus actually appears in the novelization of Jurassic Park 3, although it's actually misspelled as CARNOTAURUS, does actually feature in the original film script. Although this is later cut, especially with the mess that was Jurassic Park 3's script, they were actually rewriting this as they were filming it. The original script for Jurassic Park 3 called for a Carnotaurus to approach Alan Grant, Paul Kirby and Amanda Kirby on the riverbank when searching through the Spinosaurus dung. However, due to the release of Disney's Dinosaur, the dinosaur was replaced by the Ceratosaurus. Which, to be honest, I'm quite glad of that, because I would have rather a much more intense scene for the Carnotaurus and a more brutal one. Now, it doesn't actually specify if this Carnotaurus was going to be the camouflaging one or not. Personally, I'm happy with the inclusion of the Carnotaurus in Fallen Kingdom and Dominion, and as well as Camp Cretaceous, but I feel we've kind of missed a mark with the chameleon version which InGen could have made, and they could have featured in a story there, but that's not to say they're not to feature in the future, especially with InGen making their own version here. It could easily be written in as canon, especially as we knew that these scenes existed for Jurassic Park 3 and for the Lost World novelization. But what do you think? Do you think this should be included in future ones, or are you happy with just the original camouflaging dinosaur, Indominus Rex? Please let me know in the comments below. Please don't forget to watch all my other videos because they are great. You'll enjoy them. I'm tooting my horn, but trust me, you'll enjoy them. Go check them out now. I'd like to thank my Patreons. Thank you guys for supporting this, and my YouTube members. And if you want to know how to support me, check the link in the description. I'm Shadows, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers now. Bye bye.